I think that at least 50% of his class has his grade or lower. He is moving towards everything race.
And the police comes and they say, well, we can't do anything.
Of course, all opinions are my own, not my employer's.
Period. Hello. It's Wednesday and it's time for Pop and Politics. I'm KJ and we are back live in the studio. We have T.
Where's my close-up?
Oh, gosh.
Hi.
We have
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. We have Yana. All right, we have Xandria and Shelly E. Yes, all right. So, again, join the conversation by leaving a comment on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We will check the comments periodically throughout the show. And don't just comment, subscribe. Subscribe to our social media so you will always know when we post new content. All right, check out the website at www.metroconservativemedia.com for up-to-date information. We are a necessary voice in news and entertainment. All right, ladies, let's set it off. I'm so excited to be back in the studio with you guys.
I know, right? It's been forever.
I
Missed
know.
it. I missed it.
I missed everybody. So, all right. So we're gonna go right into it on topic. Our first topic tonight. What?
We're chilling.
What
What are y'all giggling over there about?
All right, we're gonna go right into it with our first topic tonight. We are starting off with Joy Reid. So on Friday, Joy Reid, she's from MSNBC, pointed to a series of recent events, from wildfires to the recent COVID surge to the new Texas abortion ban, which she said helped her see the Republican Party as loudly and proudly pro-death. She started off by saying Republicans are America's most unvaccinated and vaccine-resistant group. They are driving COVID cases and deaths, including among their own children. This is what she's saying. She said, and other people's children, and are largely responsible for the overwhelmed hospitals that we're seeing today. She added that that's not pro-family and it's definitely not pro-life. So let's start with you, Shelly. Does she have a point about the resistance to masks and vaccines on the right? And is this the cause of spread and the death? Like she said, we're Republicans, pro-party of death.
No, right, apparently.
Okay, so first, she does not have a point. What she has is foolishness. What she has is a lot of talking points from the left. So this argument that she's making, this is, I guess, the current stream of argument that the left has made about the Republicans or conservatives for many years. You know, initially it was throw grandma from the train, or they want to take you back to slavery. All of these arguments are do nothing but stir the emotions. But let me point this out. Republicans are the ones who actively try to save babies in the womb, number one. Yeah. So she's building this argument around vaccinations or being not vaccinated. Mm-hmm. This is nothing but a current day grab for them to use this crisis to their advantage. This is a lie.
But let me ask you this though. So she is saying about the vaccine. Do you feel as though, or is this even true, Republicans on the whole are not? Are we the only group that are unvaccinated and don't wear masks?
No. See, this is, again, you have to be careful. She's making this argument because she's trying to correlate this with Trump supporters or Trump supporters not being vaccinated. But if you look at some of the data, it shows that 90% or maybe a little bit less of the people who are not vaccinated in the cities, they are largely Democrat. And guess what? They are largely Black people or even other minorities. So she doesn't want to say that specifically.
No,
that would make her look foolish.
It was clear propaganda.
Yes.
It was such a propaganda because first of all, she said that Republicans are absolute worst. I mean, what kind of like childish statement is that? Oh, they're the absolute worst. Like, it's so awful. And then they were showing pictures like forest fires, hurricanes, the war.
I didn't know how to get that much power.
And this is all because of Republicans. Like,
It's one of those places where Democrats don't understand the conservative argument of climate change
Right.
too, because conservatives are very environmentally conscious. We believe in green energy and all sustainable solutions. We're just not going to be energy dependent on another country before we're energy dependent on ourselves.
And let me add
getting
that when we
back
were under
to-
Trump, we were independent at that time under Trump. 46 came in and just basically wiped that all out.
Let's go back before Trump. Like,
Yeah.
Trump just got here, first of all. So we can't put everything under Trump. First of all, yes, we are pro-life because it's killing babies.
Right.
It's killing embryos. So to compare it to incest and rape is a totally
Right.
far-fetched.
And she
first of
also
all.
says that Republicans are anti-welfare. So it's like, first of all, that's not true. Not every Republican is 100% anti-welfare. But then the way the Democrats try to spin it is like, well, if you're not going to support like these welfare programs,
yeah.
you might as well just kill these babies. Like, that's what they're saying.
Right.
It's the
crazy is
extreme,
that?
okay?
Can I
We
add
go
something?
for the radical extreme of the left, and when they want to try to be antagonistic against the right, against what, I feel like it's like real beliefs, like don't kill people, don't kill babies.
Well,
include it.
let's start with something you said, Yana. She says, literally but pro-life it is not, especially if your other core policies are to oppose giving those children you demand to be born health care. So she also says, if you oppose giving their parents a living wage so they can afford to feed them, and you oppose funding free lunches at school if their parents can't afford it. So what do we say to that?
So
I would oppose it. First of all, we don't oppose it.
Right.
100%.
We're
We do
okay
have
with
welfare.
helping people temporarily until they get themselves together, and then, but first of all, the people who deserve it.
But
Not
yeah,
the
I
ones
would
who just come
also
over to this
ask
country
her.
and take all of our resources. We're talking about people who deserve
Right.
it.
I would also ask her, let's go back to your argument, Ms. Reid, because if you're implying that Republicans are against that, then doesn't that mean you are also implying that those people who receive that welfare are all Democrats? Why are all Democrats receiving the welfare then? Let's go back to even before who's getting it or who's not.
Let's go
Because
back
if you're going
to
to make this just a political between Republicans and Democrats, then why are Democrats receiving so much
Let's
welfare?
go back
all
to
the
the choice
COVID regulations that cause people to get fired, that cause people to lose jobs.
Right.
And who were mostly the governors,
Who were
including
most
ours,
affected?
unfortunately,
And
but who
lower
were most of the
income.
governors that had people on lockdowns? They were mostly Democrat. Again, our governor did also. But again, these were governors across the country
Right on.
who forced people out of their jobs.
But people can also say on the opposite side, like she is saying, that you had to do this in order to keep people alive. You guys want to kill
let's
grandma.
Go back to the first,
you guys
first of all, we're talking about pro-choice. We're talking about women's advocacy for their own bodies and stuff. They're being hypocrites. So now they want to say, now we got to wear masks. Now we have to do things that they want us to do. But before, we were saying the same thing before. It's not about your bodies, it's about the baby.
And it's also what I hear when I listen to this woman. I do not hear that she cares about people. She cares about
who is she?
her image and image of Democrats, and she just wants to say Republicans are bad. It was like 100% propaganda.
Yeah, it was lies.
It was not like balanced. It wasn't like, well, some Republicans think that and we disagree with that. No, it was like all Republicans
Fake
are
news.
absolute worst. They cause forest fires. They
had that much power.
And also pro-war. She also
Incest and
mentioned
rape.
pro-war.
Wait, and her statement about that was false because she said Republicans want to stay in lengthy wars. That is the opposite
and
of what Trump was doing.
Trump
That
did not
is
start
exactly
a
the
new war.
opposite.
Trump did not start a new war. And then
Right.
what just happened just now with
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan? We still have over 100 people, Americans, stuck in Afghanistan, and the government is not coming to get them right now.
Right.
We have a civil war that is brewing in Afghanistan. And what is she thinking? Does she think that Afghanistan is over? It's not over.
No.
Well,
Wait, and
because
we
of
just
this
had
situation that
we just had, I think it was like 760. I mean, you'll have to check the number. Afghans who were killed as a result of this whole Afghanistan catastrophe.
And all this is
happening soldiers.
And this is
This is
going to
a
be
Biden
Biden's
thing.
watch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we gave them lists of allies to now go after.
Right.
So it's demonizing Republicans. That's what she said. She came out and she said, hate Republicans.
Well, let me
She's
ask you
doing
this.
too
One thing,
much.
another thing she did say, and I want to ask you this, T. She quoted Mississippi governor who said Southerners' belief in eternal life makes them less scared of COVID and calls it a pro-death statement. So because I guess she's saying, you know, I know you about just like the Christian belief or the Judeo-Christian belief about, you know, after you die, you go to heaven. And so she's saying that is actually a pro-death statement if you use it to say we're not afraid of COVID because we believe in eternal life.
No, I have.
She totally misunderstood
I
that.
have heard people say, like, I'm not gonna lie, I've heard Christians say, "Oh, I'm not worried about COVID because Jesus is going to take the wheel and He's going to, you know,
But there's
protect
Christians
me."
on both sides.
Protect me.
Right.
But I'm like, it's not that simple.
No.
It's not that simple as, oh, Jesus is going to
The
protect me from
idea
COVID. Like
about
that's
it, the way I understand it, is that not to have this major fear. It doesn't mean you don't take precautions.
Right,
It's
right.
your choice,
Faith.
whatever precaution
Right.
you want to take. But
God gives you free will.
But the thing is that what she's saying that basically don't believe in God, you know, don't believe that God will save
Believe
you.
in
Just believe in us.
Believe in the
Like what
government,
we
yeah.
tell you.
And just to add to her stats about the vaccinations, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation, it was about 72% of the adult population in the United States have received at least one dose. And then according to NBC News, it was a 69% rate. So 69%, 72%, that's more than half. So it's not even a split between 50 and 50 to make it even Democrat or Republican.
Right. It makes the accusations, and I want everyone, if we have people who watch her show, I want you to really pay close attention to this because she made outright lies. She made outright lies
About the party.
and not only did she lied, but she also just totally embellished on this. And I hope you were able to realize that because what she said actually didn't make sense. If you look at the numbers, just as Shelly just said, it just doesn't even make sense.
She's using the typical liberal talking
Right,
points.
exactly.
If you actually look, there are many Trump supporters and many conservatives who are vaccinated.
Right.
The argument on the right is it shouldn't be mandated.
Right.
People
Correct.
should make their personal choice.
I don't even wouldn't use the word liberal because
I said the left.
that's more of the leftist, communist statement. So if you're not like us, if you're not in the group with us,
Right.
you are a separate being, and people should be afraid of you. Like that's basically what she said, which is a very dangerous thing to say. Like that's what's been used.
I mean, look at us.
throughout
We're
history
approachable.
to demonize somebody.
I'm
So
not.
then those people get hurt. Like literally, when someone is afraid of you, they want to hurt you.
Yeah.
So that's what she's saying. She's like, be afraid of Republicans.
Stirring the
And
pot.
what is going to happen then?
Yeah.
We can be
Just
attacked
because we
for that.
choose to think outside of their agenda and narrative, because we actually make sense and we're logical and we're not
And
emotional.
individual and self accountability is what we always support. So again, we're going to continue to look at the comments. Please comment throughout the show. Again, join the conversation by leaving a comment on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We will check the comments periodically throughout the show. Also, subscribe to our social media so you always know when we post new content. Check out our website at www.metroconservativemedia.com for up-to-date information. All right, so we're moving right along, ladies. We are going on to our pop-off rapid fire round. All right, so we are going, this is my first question. Fortune magazine put out a recent article titled, "Why Satanists May Be the Last Hope to Take Down Texas Abortion Bill." The group argues that they should have access to the abortion pills misoprostol and mifepristone for religious use through the Religious Freedoms Restoration Act, which was created to allow Native Americans access to pay for religious rituals. So under these rules, the temple is arguing, Satan's temple is arguing that they should be granted those same rights to use abortifacients for their own abortion rituals. They want to do abortion rituals. And so this question is for Shelly. I know you are a pro-life supporter, but my question to you is, what does this say to Christians that support abortion or are pro-choice and are now on the same side of this issue as Satan's, who want to perform abortion rituals? Does it matter or not?
I'm going to have to say, you know what? I can't even comment on it, okay? No, I can't comment. Let me take that back. I can't comment. There are so many, unfortunately, there are a number of doctrinal differences amongst different denominations. So, and like you just said a few minutes ago, even within denominations or religious, whatever, your religious affiliation, there are going to be individuals who either abuse or misuse the doctrines, or maybe don't even understand them, or they're just going to make up their own mind about some things to align with, I don't know, a satanic cult. I guess that's what it is, as far as I understand
Satanists, yeah. Satanist is a religion. They worship the devil.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I try not to.
I wonder if they pay time.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say to that? It just sounds.
I remember.
It sounds ludicrous on its face. I don't.
Wait. I want to make sure. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't understand the whole alignment. It just so happens, or you're saying that some Christians align with this because they want the abortifacients, and so therefore they are aligning with us.
The Texas bill.
They don't support the bill, right? Because
like
they want to have the right to whatever, their body, their choice.
Right, Satan, just like the Satans.
Just like the Satans do. Okay, well, you know what?
Does it matter?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I don't think it matters.
Over. All right. Next, we're moving right along. 2021. This is 2021, and we are. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I want to move on to this video. All right, so we're going to play this video. Ladies, take a look, and I'm going to ask someone to share their thoughts on this video.
Okay, so during third period, we have announcements, and they do the Pledge of Allegiance. I always tell my class, stand if you feel like it, don't stand if you feel like it, say the words if you want, don't have to say the words. So my class decided to stand but not say the words. Totally fine. Except for the fact that my room does not have a flag. It used to be there, but I took it down during COVID because it made me uncomfortable. And I packed it away and I don't know where, and I haven't found it yet. But my kid today goes, hey, it's kind of weird that we just stand and then, we say it to nothing. And I'm like, oh, well, I gotta find it. Like, I'm working on it. I got you. In the meantime, I tell this kid, we do have a flag in the class that you can pledge your allegiance to. And he looks around and he goes, oh, that one?
Oh, hell nah.
Yep.
I mean,
That's a flag.
That's
All right, this is a pop off. All right, so you saw the video. So this question is for Yana. What are your thoughts on what she did? She has
I don't
the kids.
even know. Like, I just have so much frustration and rage towards this person. I've seen this video before, and I tried to erase her face for a month.
Y'all kind of look alike a little bit.
No, they
No,
don't.
yeah, they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah. Well,
The
and
glasses are racist too.
Yana's a cuter.
well, it's just, I don't even know what to say. I feel bad for the kids. The ones, I work with kids, and I also, I've gone myself through so much as a young person, as a teenager, with all these conflicting ideas. And I actually remember I was in high school in New York, and some kids, they took the American flag and somebody threw it on the floor. And I just came from, it's been 2 years since I came to this country. And I knew that was disrespectful. I picked it up, I put it back. And at that time, I wasn't even a U.S. citizen yet. And this person who is supposed to be the role model for these kids, this is the image that she presents. And these kids were actually asking her, like, why are we saying something without having the flag there? Like, they even had a question like that. And then she's as close as those Satanists. In the other question, she should be with them in the same group doing the whatever, just the rituals, not the abortion one, but whatever other rituals that they do, she's probably with them there. And then she goes to class and she's like, look, there's a flag on the wall, you can pledge your allegiance to that. Like, but you know what, she's out of she's been removed from
she needs to be.
Yeah. So I don't know if she's been removed forever, or under investigation, but the school,
crazy.
And these people also, they have the audacity to go publicly with these statements, thinking that it was just fun and game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right. Well, yeah, that's
How
true.
old was she?
I don't know.
She looks like
20.
No, she acted like she was about 13.
She acted like she was a child.
All right, so we're moving right along to the next one, 30 seconds or less. So we're in 2021, and we are seeing more and more interracial dating in real life and on the screen. Quartz Magazine published an interesting article and raised the question, should someone's dedication to fighting oppression be defined by the race of their partner? Does dating a white person make you any less Black? How do you answer these questions and why? This is for you, T.
I knew it. Right. When y'all say dating, I knew. Yeah. Okay. So as a woman that's pro-Black as well as pro-American, at times. And so, yeah, I believe that if it's a Black man with a white woman, that his loyalty to the Black community is questioned. Because if you can be so pro-Black, how can you not have a Black woman? How can you not have children with a Black woman or Black children? It's not saying that it's anti-white or anti-anything, but a love for your own people, like for your own kind. So yeah, I am one to not agree with interracial. You can shake your head, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm sorry, I think it's crazy.
That's okay, but this is my pop off. And I don't think that interracial dating, if you're going to stay with your own kind, your own people, that you should stay together to build a nation.
Now, what about the second part of does dating should someone's dedication to fighting oppression be defined by the race of their partner?
What's oppression? Like we're not oppressed. Like, so first of all, I can't even say oppression because we're not oppressed.
Oh,
just build within your nation, build within yourself, build within your family. I mean, we love everyone. You can still love everyone. You can still be kind. You can still be kind to everyone, but just build within your own community.
All right. So we are moving right along. Again, this is Pop Off, where I ask each co-host a question, and they pop off for 30 seconds or less with no response.
No response.
We're gonna need to have a whole discussion about that last one.
Maybe next week, but not during my pop off.
All right, so we're moving right along. So of course, this is the last question. It goes to Xandria. So we are seeing many of our institutions, media, and culture push new social constructs regarding LGBTQC. Jojo Siwa, the perky auntie from Iowa,
Elemental P,
with 60.5 million social media followers and 3.6 billion YouTube views, will compete on the upcoming season of Dancing with the Stars, and she'll be in the long-running series First Same-Sex Pairing. Another thing, the CDC recently advised they have new terminology in the name of promoting health equity. So from its newly issued Health Equity Guiding Principles of Inclusive Communication, they have a long list of preferred terminology to address some of the LGBTQ, etc. issues. So instead of gay or biologically male or female, you're supposed to say LGBTQ or LGBTQIA or LGBTQ plus or LGBTQIA2.
Oh, shut up.
Put the 2 on it now.
Also using MSM, men who have sex with men, to mean people who report being male at birth and having had sex with a person who was male at birth, regardless of self-identified sexual orientation. So,
I know.
after all that, my question for you is this too much or is it not enough?
Oh my God. They're just, look, I have absolutely nothing against anybody that's LGBT. Like, they're overcomplicating this too much. I don't care who people date. They can be happy. None of that matters really to any of us. But they're just trying too hard to like push this agenda that makes everybody happy and makes everybody fit in. When like it's just too much. They need to calm down. Honestly, most of the people that do fit in that LGBTQ, where does it end now? I don't know. So most of those people, they even think that there's being too much done. Like it's just too much. People, one of my friends who is gay, he's like, you know, if you go to a bar in Miami, there are people that expect you to know their pronouns and they get all edgy. And he's like, dude, like I'm gay. I don't care. Like let's just chill. So I think they're doing too much. I think there's an age at which people become aware of certain things. I think the mainstream media and television, all this, they're trying to push too hard at a young age with regards to that one, what was it, Dancing with the Stars as a kid. You know, dance is something that, like, typically a lot of people don't dance with their romantic interest. They might, but they don't have to dance with a romantic interest. So there's typically like a male part and a female part. I don't know why they're pushing it so hard. I don't think it's that big a deal that she's dancing with a girl or a guy just because it's kids, they're dancing. But if they're trying to make it romantic, then that is an issue. You know, I just think there's an age, there's a time and a place, and let the parents kind of steer the wheel. But they're doing too much. They're doing too much.
All right. So we had some comments. I just wanted to go. I think I saw 1 or 2 comments. I wanted to just respond to one, or just to see what we have. All right.
Chris Anderson.
Oh, we have Tatiana.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
I'm the one that can read from this distance. So the white people are not welcome to the Black community and cannot buy a house, for example, at the same neighborhood and vice versa. Black people are not welcome to the white community. What does it mean, dedication to your community?
Oh, was that to me?
I think that was
Tatiana?
I think that was. What does it mean?
People are not welcome to the Black community.
When you said you should be dedicated to your community.
Or loyal.
Oh, your race. I'm saying your race. When it comes to dating and marriage and bearing children, you should, go with what you know and not betray your own race.
I wouldn't
But
exist.
I wouldn't exist.
exist.
Then why are you putting people in a box?
That doesn't even make sense.
Why are you putting people in a box based on their skin color?
Well,
That's what you're doing. You're putting Black people or whomever in a box based on their skin color.
White people can have children with their own too. Like
but you're putting them in a box. Why people are
come
biologically reproduce across ethnicities.
But then it's so confusing. Think about the children. It's so confusing to the children. I know plenty of mixed children.
No, it's not.
You got 5 different races. You got like 10 different races in you.
That gives me 10 different perspectives.
To have an opinion about who,
And we have a right to have ours.
First of all, I'm not against interracial dating at all. However, I do know that it's not just the Black people that might have this kind of opinion.
Right. I agree.
There are others that have a similar opinion.
I agree.
And that they want to marry, within their ethnicity or their religion. And that's been done in history.
Most people will.
But most people will.
But for those who don't.
That's all I'm saying is that's a valid opinion. But someone may disagree. Like for me, it doesn't matter, like at all. But if someone has that point of view, I'm not gonna say, well, you shouldn't have that point of view.
Okay.
We didn't say that either.
I'm-
Most people will marry and date within their own ethnic group. And I'm going to keep saying ethnic group because I think it's just one human race, number one. So most people will. You're going to tend to mate and date who you're in proximity with. That's all of human
Okay, so
history.
what's the difference
lot
with
of
love is
older-
love?
a
Like
lot
the
of-
like the LGBT, LMNOP, QIA, LNC, hashtag 2
What's the
square root
question?
to 36. They're gonna say the same thing. Love is love, but
They do. They do.
So
They do say that.
But they're
But
saying
I'm
love
saying
everything.
interracial.
Yeah, that's
You
what I'm
don't
saying.
care
Well,
about
so
who
you
you
saying
date,
one
but
person.
like
I'm saying don't love who you
Well,
love.
wait,
Love
a
is not
lot of-
love. It's
a
not,
lot of-
but it's gotta be. It's love.
I'm not
isn't
basing it on
everything.
skin color.
What's
That's
love
what
got to do with it?
I'm not basing it on skin color.
everything. Who you date is based
It's about
on
building
wanting
your
love.
family, building your
But like,
your
the
generations,
families who are
your
more
future
mixed have
generations.
more perspectives, and
They
a lot of the older
and they have
generations.
confused children.
No, I'm not a confused child.
Right.
A lot of
I'm
What
very
makes it,
that's
non-confused.
relative.
What
I'm
makes
a
it
very
confused as
non-confused
media
child.
and the propaganda that comes typically from outside of the family. Most families, interracial, whatever word you want to use, they can be healthy and they are healthy. What makes it so such an issue is when people say, "Oh, you shouldn't because you should only marry your kind." What the heck is that?
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me just
There-
wait. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna
Did
ask
I answer
this
her
really quick.
question? Did I even answer her question? though?
Really quickly.
Tatiana.
So what we're saying here is,
Dedication,
she has this opinion,
And so we have ours.
Right. So you have yours.
Right.
But my question is, do you feel it's wrong to have? Because do you feel it's wrong for them to say date outside of your race? That's just their opinion, or you feel like it shouldn't be like that at all?
No, I feel like it shouldn't be like that.
Oh, okay. So do you so do you feel like so you feel her opinion is wrong, or you just feel like she's allowed to have
what I
that
feel.
opinion?
I'm just
I didn't even get out what
countering
the
her opinion with mine.
I see.
I don't care
A
about
lot
you.
of people in
it's my belief.
Do you feel like this is the wrong opinion? Or you think she's
I mean,
she
at
can
the end
have
of the
it,
day,
it's
her
okay.
opinion is going to determine who she dates, and that's.
But do you
her.
feel
She
like
can
this is a
absolutely-
racist
I think
opinion?
it's a
Do you think this is
strange.
I do think it's racist. Yes.
How
Yeah,
can
but
you
you
look
don't
at
think
your
there's anything wrong
interracial
with it.
child
She's gonna
and
have
see
it. Whatever
yourself
she has. I'm
in
just
another
arguing
race?
against it.
Well, if you think it's racist, then you must
Well,
think that it's
I
wrong.
think it's
I think
arguing
it's
against it. What difference does
racist
it make? I'm arguing
towards
against it.
Do you, you agree with racism?
I don't think. I think it's
Here we
racist
go.
against.
Here we go down this
Wait, I
rabbit
think
hole.
it's racist against multicultural
Wait,
children.
white
And
supremacy.
actually, some of the most people that experience racism are mixed.
Oh, so you're
kids.
saying she has a racist
I
point
think
of
it's
view?
a racist.
I think
point of
it's-
view.
yeah.
Children.
I'm not. It's not
And
racist.
I
It's
don't-
pure.
I don't
I
disagree.
don't-
Even in the Bible, it says the same
Exactly.
thing.
I actually don't
It says it in the
disagree.
Bible.
I actually think that yes,
Doesn't
people
matter.
should be able. There shouldn't be limitations on who they date racially. However, at the same time, people have a right to say, in my community,
Yeah, they have a right.
So, I think that we should not do that.
But do you
Here's a
feel
key
like
point.
it's a racist point of view?
Yes.
Oh, you
Here's a key point. Here's a key point.
This is what freedom. Hey, this is what freedom in America is about. I have a right to be racist as a black woman.
A lot of older generation families, as you'll notice, it's usually younger generations that are more mixed culturally, right? Like
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, it wasn't as common for a child to be mixed. People would ask what our mix was frequently. It just wasn't common, right? But a lot of the time, the parents, it's because they want to preserve traditions. You can still preserve traditions when you mix races. You're just celebrating more of
But
them.
it's confusing to the
That's not really
children
so.
because
It's not confusing.
So look,
I don't think it's so, but we
I'm
gotta
gonna
move
throw
on.
tea on her. How
We
can
have
you
to-
say that? You're not a mixed child. How could you know?
it's the total opposite when you got 10 different races and the perspective is not
It gets
as
watered down,
clear.
yeah.
It gets more diluted.
Yeah, you're telling her
I
she
agree
can't
with
have a
you.
difference of
I agree
opinion
with
just
you.
because of
It
her
does
ethnicity.
get
Oh,
watered
come
down.
on.
You become more well-rounded and
Yeah,
more
there's a
open
give
to
and
different
take.
But
cultures.
she doesn't want to. She wants to
There's
be.
a
She can be that. She can have that. I just happen to think it's racist. So
I know,
It's
but
okay, and that's
so
okay.
we just disagree there.
It's okay.
But my question is,
What's
if you
the
all think
difference
that,
between white power and black power?
but you all, if you all think that you all have said in the past that you feel racism is wrong.
Okay, I think she's wrong. Is that?
I think
that's a
Well,
wrong.
I think
Wrong.
this is one of the views that
I didn't say
seems
it's right.
to
I said she has
perpetuate
a right.
racism.
I had the right to be
Right.
I
racist.
see. Okay.
As a Republican, I'm not.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that,
I'm not
Yana.
pro-death.
I don't think it's racist for people. Look, it's not racist for people
This
to
is
be
even a
attracted
topic.
to
This isn't
certain
even one of our
ethnicities
topics for
and
today,
all
y'all.
of
But
that.
she said she
But it
only
is
wants to
racist
do-
to
Yeah.
think
I
that
only
there's
want-
something wrong
I
with
cannot look at
multicultural.
someone from another race.
That's what the
look at
whole
my
love.
child
What
from
was
another
it?
race and be like,
That's what
Maybe
that
that's-
whole love.
maybe
I
that's
know
just-
was
I
I
about.
know
All right,
that you
we'll
specifically
move
said
on.
black men and white women. I wanted to ask you about the follow-up. What about black women and white men?
well, okay, that is. Can I be hypocritical for 1 second?
We'll talk about that another time.
No. I mean, it's still wrong. Like, I mean, I believe it still should be black on black children, black on black families, because we have to relate to each other, and especially in this climate, there's a whole different cultural difference or whatever that you have to, at the end of the day, come to the household and be able to explain that to each other.
I would argue.
You're not going to be able.
I
No
would
matter how
argue.
many. No
I
matter how many.
relate to
hold
more
on.
people because I'm mixed.
No matter how many
relate to
races
more
you
people
have in
because
you.
I'm mixed.
No matter how many races you have in me, you would never be able to relate to
I
what
can't.
I
vice
do.
versa.
I have
Like,
cousins
it's
who
fine.
are black.
I don't want to.
What is
I
your
don't try
point?
to.
Wait, but I have cousins. I have like.
But you're
family
not
all
dating
over.
someone who you
I've
can come
dated
to.
many ethnicities. I'll just say I've dated
Oh,
many
you might
ethnicities.
not want to say that on air.
Well, I love my boyfriend, so I'm you know.
All right, all right, we're gonna move
Oh,
on.
God.
We're going down another road.
I mean, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter, right? I'm fine with
I'm
all
sorry, Xandria.
ethnicities. I mean,
I
why?
didn't mean it like that, but you know.
All right, this is fine. All right, so we'll move on.
I love my boyfriend. That's all that matters.
She loves her boyfriend, G. I love him too, actually.
Everybody loves him.
All right, so we're moving along. So again, see, as you can see, as you know, conservatives, as Republicans,
Oh,
we have all
wait.
different types of.
I got one.
We
got
have
a
all.
comment.
We'll get to the next topic. But we have all different points of views. You know, some of us even, different points of views on life. We even have a racist on the couch tonight. So,
And it ain't me.
Yana? She's racist.
so we will move it right along.
Oh no, I date all ethnicities.
Don't say that.
Just like
Wait, guys. We've all dated before we found our people. Like, we've all.
Who's your
been
people?
dated, so.
I've
My
never
people's
dated.
my boyfriend, but I'm saying like everybody's.
I've
been
never
through
dated.
dating.
Oh, no,
No,
so
I've
one
never
thing-
dated a white guy. I've never dated
Talking
anyone.
about that.
One thing that I love about America is the diversity, and I would have not been able to have all of this diversity
Proud
if
to
I
be
didn't
an
come
American,
here.
or at least you can date who you want to.
And my boyfriend and I are different cultures, right?
All right, that's
You know what I
true.
mean? Like, it's just gonna. I think more and more, it's just.
Somebody
gonna
compare me
keep
to the
US.
Nazis? No,
All
like.
right, so we'll start. We'll keep going.
Gotta keep it real.
Topic 2.
All hell
We're going to
Hitler.
talk
I
about
mean, what?
Larry Elder. So we're moving right along.
Oh, wait, we're gonna go straight to that? All right.
Yeah, Larry
In the middle
Elder.
of this?
The Los Angeles Times warns that radio talk show host Larry Elder, who is running for governor of California in the recall election, is on a political mission to destroy Black people. This is according to the Los Angeles Times. Basically, this is what they said. It's that perhaps out of spite or perhaps out of an insatiable need for attention, Elder opposes every single public policy idea that's supported by Black people to help Black people, the paper claims. This has been true for decades, but it's particularly problematic given the racial reckoning following the murder of George Floyd. So let's talk about it. What do you think? What do you say to this characterization of Larry Elder? I actually was going to start with you, T. Is it fair, or is this what the left does for all Black conservatives?
So it's not fair, but who cares? We're at the point now where we believe what we believe. The left is going to believe what they believe. The right is going to believe what they believe. We're not going to come to any type
Well, then
of
why are we here?
like living.
No, here on this couch. If we really believe what you're saying, then why are we here? Who are we talking to? We might as well just have a girls' night out.
I mean, that's kind of we're talking to our people. I mean, we're not talking to we can have a girls' night out, but you can't have any two
I
shots.
want to know this.
More
I
than
wanna
one
know-
shot.
I don't have to have a shot to be. I don't have to have a shot to have a girls' night out because I like to be coherent to know what I'm thinking and doing.
So
getting
If I
drunk
may-
is not a girl's night out.
If I may still answer the question, it would be that, Larry Elder. What is the question? Because now I'm thinking about girls night out. I'm trying to hang out now. Like,
so we're just asking, as far as the LA Times, have kind of characterized him as pretty much being bad for California, bad for the Black community.
They called him a
black white
supremacist.
Right. What do you think about that?
So we know number one, most Black people, I would venture to say, only know about Larry Elder what the LA Times and New York Times says about him. That's number one. So what they don't know is that he stands highly for education, particularly in California, where I think he even quoted Black boys have are 75% of the uneducated or miseducated students. So there's already that there. Larry Elder is very much pro-life, okay? Yes, he's a conservative talk show host, but these are some of his stances. And over the years, the leftist newspapers, i.e. the New York Times, LA Times, and others, have denigrated him. They have not talked to him based on the issues and why he supports that. He supports, having more money in your pocket, having skills taught to high school students so that when they come out of high school, they have marketable skills where if they get married, at first if they graduate high school, if they get married and then have children, they're on a trajectory to not even go into poverty at all.
Yeah.
So these are some of the stances. Now, why are these stances? Why does this make him a Black white supremacist?
Yeah. I don't know why Black people or anybody want to keep Black people impoverished. Like, yeah, we don't have to. We're not oppressed. We can still. Anytime a Black person or anyone, but mostly a Black person wants to rise above the basic ass standards that the Black community or whomever, the left, wants to keep us, white liberals included, wants to keep us, then there's a problem. Like, it doesn't have to be a problem.
Has a very screwed up mentality.
Afraid of Black people, afraid of independently thinking, strong Black people. And I think that's the real racism that comes from the left.
Right.
Because they do not want to see a Black person who's a libertarian, who wants to end the welfare entitlements. He wants to abolish the minimum wage, and he's against the unions, specifically the teachers' unions. And also, he doesn't see himself as a victim, and he doesn't want other Black people to see themselves as a victim. And what was interesting, I heard that apparently Kamala and Biden are both going to California to campaign against him.
Because he has a really good chance.
So that means that they're so afraid of him. And someone has to think, why are they so afraid specifically of a Black person who is a conservative? Because they're afraid of the entire community to finally waking up and rising against this actual oppression that is happening onto the Black people in this country.
Well, let me ask you this. So one thing I'm surprised about, because if you had a Larry Elder on the Democratic side, he would be a superhero, a star. Yeah. You have this man from South Central LA has pulled himself up from poverty. He's gone to law school. He's done well for himself, and he's created an entrepreneur, and he's created all this wealth. But yet he's demonized. One thing they keep pushing throughout the media is his interview with Candace Owens, where they say that he was advocating for reparations. Did you guys? Well, he was actually he was giving a rhetorical. Right, he was, but they don't say that. It is full story. Right, they don't, and it's such a lie. It's such a misrepresentation. I was online earlier today. This was on like a blog. I think it was a Real Housewives blog. So, and that's trouble, right? But this is how much they are really entrenched in this. They have posted an article about Larry Elder on it was a Real Housewives blog or some type of
that's their news source.
Right. It was a pop blog. And so they said, this is a Black white supremacist. Yeah. And so I commented and I said, why do you say that? Let me see the clip. And you got or post the well, you can go look it up. Well, why are you pushing this? And you haven't even put out the whole clip or the whole or let people go to the actual news article to reference. Look, because it's a lie. It's a lie. When a Black conservative
reaches this height like Larry Elders has, this is when you get the Hillary Clintons coming out singing gospel songs in the churches.
Carrying hot sauce in her
right,
bag.
in her southern accent,
Which
right?
is offensive.
This is when you get Joe, what's his name, 46 Biden, when he talks about you ain't black.
Right.
These are the kind of things, these Democrats, these are the bigots and leftists.
But then we
again,
overlook.
they are afraid. They are afraid. This is why you have 46 VP and 46 president going to campaign in California, because Larry Elders has a real good shot at becoming the governor. If he becomes governor, and yes, I hope he does, it will upset the Democrat apple cart.
Well, let's look at this, because if you look at what the Los Angeles Times said, they said Elder opposes every single public policy idea that's supported by Black people to help Black people. So basically, they're saying he opposes all of the Democratic, legislation. But how does this help Black people? That's what the question is.
Black people, he's opposing everything that other Black people support. So are they saying that all Black people support Democrat
I guess so.
policies?
That's what they're saying.
If you don't, you're
the
not
urban
Black.
areas.
Right. But again, when we look at these
those
urban
policies-
areas, how have these policies helped Black people?
They haven't.
They have not. They have
They have not. They help keep the left in power over the Black people in these areas.
Exactly.
That's what they do.
They're
And
afraid to
Mr.
lose
I think
their
it's
jobs.
people-
That's what it is. The people in power,
Yeah.
the ones that've been administering all this welfare and the sitting above the system.
Well,
They're
look
the
at Gavin
ones-
Newsom.
they're
I think
afraid
if
to
you,
lose
I
their
think
job.
there should be a social experiment, and there's some people that do this, but where they take Larry Elders, all the things he said, they just have some neutral person, not a party affiliated, say it and see what people think, right?
Yeah,
because they're
exactly.
gonna agree with
Of
him.
course they will.
They are really just affiliated. Anything that they can do to stir up emotion, they're just saying, oh, he supports Trump, right? That makes the left upset. And now he's actually a man of great wisdom. And it's really a shame, because I want to know, like, what type of Black person needs to run on a conservative platform, right? That somebody on the left would think like, oh, that's a good candidate. Right? Or will they just never think it if they're affiliated with the right?
No, and he has Mr. Elder. He has an amazing story, just as Clarence Thomas. Like I saw a biography on Clarence Thomas. He had an amazing story from his parents' history to his history, and this is a major come up. Like, they're really coming up in life and showing that you can come from anything and become, something important in life. And I don't understand, like, what's the trouble against that?
If he were running on a Democratic, he
would be
like hero.
Stacey, what's her name? Stacey Abrams.
Right. He would be someone that everyone applauded and pushed forward. But because he's a conservative, because he's a Republican, they've totally demonized him. And it's a shame. It's a crying out shame.
Like, he doesn't have history of being married. Like, what is his marriage status?
Can I say one more thing?
I don't know where he's married to.
I don't think he's not married right now.
Not married.
But this is what Larry Elder said himself. Another reason why the left are totally afraid of him. If he wins, he has said this. If he does win, he will probably get a chance to appoint another senator, because Barbara Feinstein, or whatever her name is, Feinstein. Dianne Feinstein. Where has she been? It's reported that she's sickly. So he would get a chance, probably most likely, to appoint another senator, and that senator would be a Republican from California if he were governor, and that would upset the House. I mean, the Senate numbers right now.
Right, and I want to get back to what you were saying. Because I don't know if you were hinting around that there were allegations that he had abused someone this week or past.
Yeah,
but he has
going to come out.
But he said he vehemently said that's
I know.
Look, I don't care if they're on the right or the left.
Right.
Like, the convenience of the timing.
All the time.
Hard to believe.
Playbook, same playbook.
I'm sure if I would ever run, somebody would come out and say, "Oh, she tried to fight me." Yeah, because she tried to fight my friend.
I would say
supposedly,
that California, what do they have to lose?
It's California.
Supposedly the accusation of this his fiance or ex-fiance, it happened years ago. So all of a sudden now she's traumatized over supposedly whatever, him putting a gun, taking it out the drawer and putting it on the dresser.
All right, well, we'll see. We're going to look at the comments.
That's all
We'd like to check
that's not
one
abuse.
comment. I know.
I mean, why is that even relevant?
We got one from Tatiana.
Here's Tatiana again.
I agree with the statement that we have reached the point when our beliefs and their beliefs would not change, and it doesn't matter what we're saying. and what the facts are presenting prove our beliefs. But I think there are still 20, maybe 30% of the people who do not have their own opinion. They are confused and decisive. So this show might make them think.
Oh, thank you, Tatiana.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's what that's what we try to do on this show. We try to take these headlines and these news stories and really look into it and really find the truth. Because the truth is something that is hidden these days. And you have all this social media, the mainstream media, who just blatantly lie.
And if you type in Larry Elder into Google, what is going to come up? It's all
the abuse, allegations,
And
and
pictures of his plastic face.
Right. And let's talk about Newsom and how.
Hey, you know what? He built the wealth to do whatever he wants.
Right.
So
That's
his
right.
face.
You did say you think he got
T said that.
Well, because when you mentioned it, I thought like, oh, I looked at the pictures. I'm like, yeah.
I mean,
his cheekbones are really
look,
popping.
most of LA, most of that region,
right.
they get work
Who cares?
done.
It's his
Who
money.
cares?
A lot of politicians get.
Many
plastic
politicians.
surgery. So
of
like,
course.
what's the big
Who
deal?
Yeah,
cares?
it's not a big deal.
Well,
If it
some
makes them
people
happy.
don't like that. Some people don't like.
Shelly gave me the evil eye. I'm not gonna say nothing for the rest of the whole show. She gave me that
Do
Esther.
what's right for them.
You know, Esther on Sanford and Son. She gave me that eye.
Oh, that's an ugly eye.
I would just say
That's
people
what she
should really like
know.
listen to Larry
listen to
Elder's
his-
speeches
right.
and his YouTubes and different things he's done because he's very wise.
Yeah.
And I think they changed their minds.
Definitely.
Exactly. Well, again, join the conversation by leaving a comment on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We will check the comments throughout the show. Also, subscribe. We have been talking about this all evening, how the mainstream media and other media platforms are not giving you the truth. We are about finding the truth. We are about discussion, debate. So subscribe to our social media so you always know when we post new content. Again, check us out online, www.metroconservativemedia.com. We are a necessary voice in news and entertainment. All right, so we are moving right along to our last topic of the evening, Project Baltimore. Talk about news and media. So those of you who are from Baltimore probably know about Fox WBFF Fox 45's Project Baltimore. They have tackled Baltimore City school failings and uncovered failings in Baltimore County too. So why are those in leadership within these areas and Baltimoreans upset about it? Is Project Baltimore truly a champion or are they an antagonist? So I want to get you guys' thoughts. I'll start with you, Xandria. What do you feel about Project Baltimore and what they do for their news stories?
I think somebody needs to cover the story. Now you can, maybe the argument is who are their viewers, right? Are the people that they want to see their stories? Because I feel like it's probably going to be like Baltimore County, right?
Baltimore City, yeah.
Certain parts of Baltimore City, but maybe not like, I don't know, if they're targeting a certain viewership, maybe the argument is, hey, people from the city themselves, like the people living through these situations, let's have them take the mic and talk about what's going on. The thing is, I don't know that necessarily there are people willing to do that. But I mean, that could be a fair argument. But overall, somebody needs to cover the story.
Yeah,
do they always do the best job? I don't know.
They're doing the job that they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So the media is supposed to be like the fourth branch.
The fourth estate.
The fourth estate, yeah. So they're supposed to be the balancing power. And right now, we don't see media doing that. We always see media being on one side of the party and whoever pays them. And in this case, they are on the side of the citizens of Baltimore. Like, for example, they reported on the fact that there was a 21-year-old sex offender in high school who sexually assaulted 2 high school students. And they reported on that. And because of that, there was a law passed that you cannot have sex offenders attend high schools. Like, really?
You thought that was
law?
it was in Baltimore County.
Doesn't apply.
Like, right, but they actually had to sign something so this doesn't happen again. So, like, really? So they if they didn't report on that, maybe they would continue to put adults in high school. They literally had an adult with teenagers.
Yeah.
And so I think they're doing a great job. And people who do not like it are the ones that are, they have something that they want to hide.
So where's the disconnect?
They're gonna think that this is like Kimberly Klacik, the first video that she did when she was walking down Baltimore in a certain area, and it wasn't. And people like, oh, she's exposing, the community, and this isn't good because we should keep it in. It's always the don't ask, don't tell. It's always a no snitching kind of mentality where you can't tell the truth. You can't expose people or expose the truth for what it is. And then here we are, we have Project Baltimore or Fox 45 with the Project Baltimore. They're doing the same thing. They're really saying, hey, it's not all good. We have all these Black people in the seats that aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Let's do something about it. But no, let's keep it hush hush because they're not ready for the mentality of Black people. For some reason, y'all suck. Y'all not ready for it.
Well, let me ask you this. So you brought up a good point about Kim Klacik, who I adore. But there is a narrative within Baltimore City that says these people on Project Baltimore, even they've said about Kim Klacik and her last campaign, have no connection within the city. No connection. Where's your street cred?
We don't need.
So the media doesn't necessarily.
And so that's why I'm sorry. I'm going to answer your question. So that's why they say that they don't really have any affinity for the Project Baltimore. Because these people, they feel like, don't have any type of roots within the city.
The media don't have to have roots in the city.
Right.
What they have to do is be a light, if you will, on what the government is doing or not doing, based in a sense on the people's behalf. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to expose
journalism.
Yes, they're not supposed to be buddy with either the people and or the government. Certainly not the government. They need to expose. And this is what I would ask you. You said something, T, about people don't want to hear truth. So it doesn't matter. Baltimoreans, why are we not angry and upset down again at City Hall, asking the mayor, the city councilman, city council personnel, the school board, why aren't we there knocking on their doors, saying where are your answers to these questions? Where's the proof? They just came out with this Augusta Fells Savage audit or their investigation that they claimed that they did, right? All of these gross misdoings, and that's even putting it mildly. Some of it could be possibly criminal, not just a civil rights violation, but criminal. These people are supposed to be monitoring and teaching our students. What they are really doing is saying, hey, we don't think that you Black children are up to the par. So we're going to start you already on a substandard level.
That's the real oppression. That's oppression right there.
Exactly. And I don't know if you guys ever read or heard of the book called The Miseducation of the Negro.
Yes, I have it on my book. I have it on my dresser.
So, I mean,
we're Black.
And the thing is that I don't know if people really understood. Like, I'm sure some did. But like when I hear of things like that, it makes me think of that
title.
It's enough.
I said, wasn't that racist that she said that? I don't know if y'all ever heard of this book. Like, wasn't that a racist assumption?
She's well read, so she just wants everyone else to be well read. First of all, y'all not gonna come for Yana like that.
Not the title.
Go on.
No, we kind of got offended because you asked us Black women if we read The Miseducation of the Negro.
I mean, I've known people.
It was just assumed. It was just assumed like that we didn't hear it.
What's your point?
But you know what? I don't assume anything about people.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to assume like.
Did you read it?
Look, see, I'm not gonna say like I know you guys read it, but probably Xandria. I'm not gonna read it.
That's bigotry.
She was really talking to Xandria.
Wait, did you read it? Yes. Okay.
So,
I thought you said no.
Fascinating book because it was written in 1933.
I didn't know that.
And when I was reading
Woodson.
it, and I was like, wait, it was written in 1933, but the stuff that's in it is so relatable to today. It's like, why
same thing.
hasn't the society changed
Right.
since then? Probably because they never opened that book, most of the people. And well, because what it said there, I mean, one of the things I pulled out some quotes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I remember from reading it that's better than in this quote. But anyway, like one of them was, if the Negro in the ghetto must eternally be fed by the hand that pushes him into the ghetto, he will never become strong enough to get out of the ghetto. And this book was specifically talking, at the time, there was racism, you know, from the white people. And then what was happening, but what was interesting in the book, it said that the Black people themselves learned that racism, and they were pushing their own down. Back in 1930s, like when the Black people tried to, you know, get education and get better, there were other Black people that would say, you know what, you'll never achieve because, you know, there's racism, and you'll never get this job that you want because there's racism.
Or maybe in the form of like, you're too white, I mean, you're not Black enough.
Back then, sure, there was racism, but still, do not push people down just because of that.
It's the rat experiment.
2021, and it's still happening.
The same issues,
and we still have, you know, kids that are being, you know, put aside, or because they're Black, they're not, you know, capable enough.
So you're saying there is oppression. So
Blacks are oppressing Blacks.
Blacks are oppressed in that case. We're
By
oppressed,
other Blacks,
but by
they don't.
whom though?
But
That's the thing.
And that's the thing. It was miseducation of the Negro because they're miseducated to accept
Who the enemy is.
You know, to accept the idea. No, the idea that they are below somebody, and so they're pushing their own down to, you know, and not allowing people to think differently. That's where they're against the elder.
Right.
And I wanted to add to what you said, because the point you made aligned with what I was saying at the beginning. I agree. It's not necessarily the journalist's job to relate to everybody. They are supposed to do journalism. But if Project Baltimore wants to take that feedback, they can always create segments where they involve the community, or they have people right from the community. And the key thing there is people have to be willing to do it. So like I was talking, my sister and I visited one of the organizations that's like boots on the ground doing things in Baltimore, right? And I won't mention which one, but my sister said, hey, you should create, like, as you're doing this, like, you should create a documentary about this, because like you're really in the trenches. Like, people should see what's going on. And he said, no, I can't do that. People will think that I'm like, they'll get the wrong perception of me, the wrong impression. They'll think I'm, you know, doing this for money, or I'm doing it for show. They won't think I'm actually trying to help anymore. So like, there's also that idea and that mindset, right, that you have to change culturally.
Well, it depends on the type of situation and the type of organization also. But I mean, when you look at different, even if you take ethnic communities like the Irish or Italians in Boston or in the North, and you go to these communities, you know, a lot of the times, you know, the police officers are Italian or Irish, you know, the councilmen are the same, and you have investigations, and it actually been, you know, highly documented investigations where they have people who were able to talk with the residents because they came from the community. I mean, and so that's just what I'm saying. I mean, I love Project Baltimore, and I think they're doing an awesome job, but I do think that they should incorporate people who are in the community, if they can find them, like
I
you
was
said.
gonna say, so
and
they have to
and
be
have like, and that can be.
If we're talking about the Black community, specifically in Baltimore, then I'm not saying that there are no people that are available, but they're only going to go to people who are available to do. How many of these organizations who are willing and available?
They might not want to put themselves on the spot,
that's a black mark on us, because we don't have these I guess committees or organizations established like the other communities you mentioned. So then I would go back to say, well, then what's going on with us? Why don't we? Why are we not organized, if you will, or at least have this perspective that these are parts of community that we need? For different needs need to have different needs will be met differently in the same community. So we don't have these groups. We are all about defund the police. You know, the police are all bad. And that's not true. That's a distortion. And it only hurts us as a community.
That's true. All right. Well, we are going to wrap it up. I do want to just see if we have any comments. If anyone Point out one or two comments before we leave. We do have Christopher Anderson.
Oh yeah.
Calm down, T. We know you are mad.
You read it.
read it.
Yeah, you
What?
Oh, we know you read it. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry, I can't see. Okay. All right. Well, again, continue to comment. We will check these out even after we end the show tonight. We'll check the comments and may talk about something that you said next week. All right. So again, thank you so much for watching. Again, continue the conversation by checking our YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and again, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed by this point, what are you waiting for? All right. That way you get up to the minute content when we post, and we appreciate the support. We are an independent media, and each time you subscribe, it helps make our voice that much stronger. Again, we are a necessary voice entertainment. Check out our website, www.metroconservativemedia.com. We look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, count your blessings and live a life of purpose. Good night.
Hey.